What if the most profound sign of a real twin flame connection isn't thinking about them constantly, but the sacred, startling peace when you finally don't? Let's be honest. That first day you realize the mental radio station that played nothing but the symphony of them has gone silent. A cold terror can trickle in. It feels like a betrayal of the soul, a forgetting, as if the intensity of your love is being measured by the volume of your worry, and you've just failed the test. You scramble to recapture the ache, the longing, the familiar heart pangs, convinced their absence means the magic is fading. But what if that quiet is the magic? What if this isn't a loss of signal, but an upgrade of your entire receiving equipment? I want you to consider a different possibility, one that changes everything. Imagine two planets drawn into one another's orbit by an irresistible gravitational pull. For ages, they spin in a chaotic, beautiful, sometimes destructive dance, each defining its existence by the proximity to the other. Then slowly, something miraculous happens. They each find their perfect, individual spin and stabilize in their own axis. The frantic, unstable dance ceases. They are no longer crashing into each other or straining across the void. They are simply holding each other in a silent, unwavering, and perfectly balanced field. The connection hasn't vanished. It has matured from a turbulent dance into a stable universe. The silence you feel isn't emptiness. It is the sound of your own gravity finally becoming strong enough to hold a love that doesn't need to be chased because it can never be lost. This is where the real story begins, the one they never tell you about in the spiritual fairy tales. And the secret truth waiting for you in this quiet is far more beautiful and powerful than the noise ever was. You know the noise. Oh, do you ever know it? It's the first thought upon waking and the last whisper before sleep. It's the constant thrumming background hum of him, of her, a mental television left on in the other room, tuned to a channel that broadcasts nothing but the mystery of your twin flame. You try to focus on your work, your life, your own breath, but that station is always on, its volume fluctuating between a gentle murmur and a deafening roar. It's exhausting, isn't it? You pray for it to stop, and then one day, it does. And that's when the panic sets in. Your first thought is, I've lost it. The connection is gone. I've failed. It feels like a spiritual abandonment, a cosmic dial tone after years of holding the line. But what if I told you that this silence is not a failure, but the entire point? What if this quiet is the most profound graduation of your soul? Let's pull back the curtain on this first great mystery, the shift from energetic codependency to sovereign resonance. That's a fancy term, I know. Let's ditch the jargon and get real. In the beginning, this connection is messy. It's electric. It's overwhelming. And if we're being brutally honest, it's a form of spiritual addiction. You're like a radio telescope, constantly swiveling your dish across the cosmos, straining to pick up a single specific signal, their signal. Your entire energetic being is focused on receiving, decoding, and obsessing over every blip and static burst from them. Are they happy? Are they thinking of me? What does that vague social media post mean? This beautiful soul is what I call energetic codependency. Your inner peace is tied to a signal that is, by its very nature, intermittent and outside of your control. It's an exhausting game of cosmic hide and seek where you're always it. But then the thinking stops, the static fades, and you're left in this terrifying, beautiful silence. Here's the truth no one tells you. The connection wasn't in the noise. The connection was drowning in the noise. This silence is the sound of you finally turning your radio telescope inward. You're not picking up a signal from afar anymore because you have discovered the broadcast source within yourself. You have integrated the frequency, the love, the passion, the sense of divine recognition. It's no longer something you seek from the outside. It becomes a note you yourself are holding. A sustained, perfect note that is your own sovereign being. Think of it like this. Before, you were a single violin string, quivering with the desire for another string to create a harmonic. Your entire existence was defined by that longing. Now, you have become the entire instrument, the body, the neck, the strings. You are complete. You resonate with a richness that fills the room all on its own. And when another perfected instrument enters your space, the harmony you create isn't one of desperate need. It's a complex, joyous symphony composed of two whole, complete compositions. That is sovereign resonance. It's the understanding that true union cannot be built on two halves searching for completion, but only on the unshakable foundation of two wholes choosing to celebrate their completeness together. This is why the mental obsession has to cease. The mind was the manager of the search party, but the search is over. You've been found by yourself. The love for your twin flame doesn't disappear. It transmutes. It moves from a frantic, story-based fantasy playing out on the screen of your mind to a silent, unwavering state of being. It is the hum of the refrigerator in a happy home. You don't notice it constantly, but its presence is what allows the feast to be prepared. It is the gravity between two planets. Invisible, silent, but holding entire worlds in a perfect, effortless dance. So, when the silence descends, don't frantically try to change the channel back to the station of lack and longing. Sit in the quiet. It's the sound of your own soul, finally loud enough to be heard. It is the sound of you coming home to yourself. And you know what the most ironic, beautiful part is? This sovereign wholeness you fought so hard to achieve. It's the very thing that creates the most powerful magnetic force for a healthy, harmonious union in the physical world. But that's a whole other conversation, isn't it? One that leads us to an even deeper alchemy happening within you. So, you've found a taste of that silence, that sovereign resonance. It's beautiful, isn't it? But there's a whisper, a subtle curiosity. What now? Is this the end of the journey? Oh, my dear friend, it is quite literally just the beginning. You've just stepped out of the noisy lobby and into the main event. Welcome to the sacred theater of your own soul, where the second and most profound act is beginning. The activation of the inner union and the sacred neutrality. Let's be real for a second. The entire twin flame narrative we're sold is a love story for the ages. It's epic, it's cinematic, it's Romeo and Juliet with a spiritual soundtrack. We become the hero and heroine of our own movie, desperately writing and rewriting the script for that final, glorious reunion scene. The obsessive thinking that was just you, the director, producer, and screenwriter, all working overtime, shouting directions, terrified the real actor won't show up and deliver their lines. But when the thinking stops, it's because the movie has ended, and you're left sitting in the empty, quiet theater of your own being. And you slowly realize you were never just the director. You were the entire cast. You were the stage. You were the story itself. This is the great secret, the cosmic joke the universe plays on all of us. The external twin flame is the most compelling, frustrating, and brilliant mirror ever devised. They reflected back at you not who you were, but who you needed to become. They showed you your own abandoned power in their strength, your own hidden tenderness in their vulnerability, your own chaotic shadows in their triggers. The entire running, chasing, and longing. It was never about getting them. It was a frantic, externalized scavenger hunt for the scattered pieces of yourself. And when you stop thinking about them, it's because the hunt is over. You found all the pieces. The internal reconciliation has begun. This is the inner union, the sacred marriage of your own masculine and feminine energies. Not man and woman, but the fundamental forces within you, the doing and the being, the striving and the surrendering, the voice that says, build it, and the one that whispers, just allow it. For so long, these two were at war within you. Your inner masculine was exhausted from trying to make the union happen, to force the timeline, to build the relationship like a project. Your inner feminine was heartbroken from the lack of flow, the resistance, the feeling of not being honored or heard. The constant mental drama about your twin flame was just the external projection of this internal civil war. The silence, then, is the sound of the peace treaty. It's the moment your inner CEO and your inner muse finally go for coffee, look each other in the eye, and say, you know, we both want the same thing, wholeness. Let's work together. And from this collaboration emerges a new kind of power, a power that doesn't force, but magnetizes, a power that doesn't grasp, but creates. And this power breathes a very specific quality into your life, one that is often mistaken for apathy, sacred neutrality. Don't get it twisted. This isn't, I don't care. This is, I trust so deeply that I am free to care without clawing. It's the difference between a frantic, white-knuckled grip on a butterfly and the quiet, open-palmed wonder as it chooses to land on your hand. It is the ultimate act of faith. It's releasing the specific, detailed, color-coded vision board of how your union must look. The when, the where, the how, and surrendering to the breathtaking, intelligent, and often surprising design of the universe. You stop loving them from a place of need and start loving them from a place of celebration. You hold the love not as a burning question mark, but as a serene, full stop. A period. It just is. And in that isness, you become a vibrational match, not for the dramatic, chaotic roller coaster of the runner-chaser dynamic, but for the steady, unwavering, sustainable miracle of a true, embodied union. You are no longer trying to get to the destination. You have become a destination worthy of arrival. And the most fascinating part? This state of inner union and sacred neutrality is the most potent creative force in the universe. It's the alchemist's stone. It transforms your entire life from the inside out, long before any external reunion occurs, making you wonder if perhaps this wholeness was the real goal all along. But what do you do when this new quiet power starts to reshape your reality in ways you never saw coming? So here you are. The storm of thought has passed. The frantic search party you sent out into the universe has been called home, not in defeat, but in triumph. And you stand in this new, quiet landscape of your soul, and you breathe. It feels different, doesn't it? The air is clearer, the light is softer. This is not an ending. It is a settling, a deepening. It is the moment the earth, after a long and tumultuous journey, finally decides to become a garden. For so long, you believed the twin flame journey was a pilgrimage to another person. You packed your bags with hope and fear, mapping constellations toward a distant star you called the One. But the real pilgrimage was always inward, a slow, deliberate turning of the soil in your own being, pulling up the weeds of old wounds, planting seeds of self-worth, and learning to water yourself with compassion. The silence in your mind is simply the sound of that internal garden beginning to thrive. It's the hum of life, not the echo of lack. This is the great, beautiful secret they don't tell you in the fairy tales. The ultimate reunion was never about finding a missing piece outside of yourself. It was about realizing you were the entire mosaic all along. Each shard of healed trauma, each spark of reclaimed power, each moment of forgiveness you offered yourself, these were the tiles you were carefully setting into place. The picture they form is the face of a soul that has come home to itself. And in that homecoming, a profound truth dawns. You are no longer a seeker. You are a sanctuary. And from this place of unshakable sanctuary, your entire relationship to love transforms. It ceases to be a question you ask the world. Do you love me? Will you stay? And becomes a statement you emit, a frequency you carry. It's the deep, grounding root system that allows a tree to stand firm, not grasping for the sun, but naturally rising to meet it. This is the final, graceful release of the how. How will it happen? When will he return? What will it look like? These questions simply lose their charge, like a battery disconnected from a machine of anxiety. You trade the exhausting job of being the architect of your love life for the joyful wonder of being the curator of your own peace. You begin to understand that this sacred neutrality, this sovereign wholeness, is not a waiting room. It is the foundation of a new world. And whether your twin flame steps into that world in physical form becomes almost secondary, not unimportant, but secondary to the breathtaking miracle of the world itself. You have built a kingdom within, and you are its benevolent ruler. A reunion now would not be a rescue, it would be a coronation of two sovereigns choosing to merge their kingdoms into an empire of shared light. So, walk gently in this new silence, brave soul. It is the most fertile ground you will ever know. Trust the quiet. It is not empty. It is full of you. The chapter of longing is closed, and the volume of becoming is now open. Its pages blank and radiant with possibility. And the most thrilling part? This is where your real power to co-create with the universe begins. But that, my friend, is a conversation for another dawn.